What's bad, YouTube? Because this certainly is the worst news that I could possibly see for all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless we somehow actually get a Link Vrains pack for us. Because if Link Vrains Pack 1 wasn't so good, why isn't there a Link Vrains Pack 2? Here's the answer. There's legitimately a Link Vrains Pack 2 coming, announced by the OCG page itself. The latest booster pack of OCG, Link Vrains Pack 2, was decided to be released on November 23rd, 2018. Friday! Congratulations! In this booster pack, Link monsters corresponding to all 20 popular themes are recorded, so included or something like that. In addition, the cards necessary to build each theme will be re-recorded. So like, they're saying basically other cards to go with the actual themes will be reprinted in this set, which would be like our Battles of Legend, I guess, for us. Continuing news about Link Vrains Pack 2 will be released at V-Jump and Weekly Shonen Jump. So basically, this is the shot heard all around the world. The Link Vrains Pack 2 is coming. What happened to us with Link Vrains Pack? Oh, right. We got completely and royally screwed. You know, whenever Konami releases a pack that has 20 exclusive OCG cards, and it's not going to be a set for us, what does that mean for us? It means we're not going to see some of those cards for 3 to 5 years, most likely. And it started out real great. We actually come over here, and we look at Extreme Force. We got 8 of the imports immediately, and that already was the red flag, right? Because we're already going down on our imports after this set. This set gave us 10 imported cards, but we only got 8 cards. So that was the first eyebrow raiser. And we're like, okay, so we're not going to get all the cards for at least 3 sets. We move forward a set, and we only get 3 of them. I believe Insector Dragonfly or whatever it's called. Not Dragonfly, but the Insector Link Monster. We got the Medolce Link Monster and one other.
The Shaddoll.
Yeah, the Shaddoll Link Monster that just didn't do enough for the archetype. So kind of the less exciting ones, because Flood didn't need help selling itself, because there were now short-printed secrets in here, such as Infinite Impermanence, Ghost Bell, and Nightmare Corruptor Ibli, a one-of that is somehow worth more than Unicorn or Griffin. And yeah, granted, these extra deck cards are also kind of one-ofs, but the quantity is just not there for this card. And Infinite Impermanence could have been a 40 card for everybody. It probably, you know, if there's a third more on the market, there goes probably a third of its price. Supply and demand, but hey, what do I know? So this set ended up really needing it, and wow, World Legacy session at $14, Jesus. Then we come all the way to Cybernetic Horizon. How many do we get? 1, and then we start piecing them out into other sets to help sell those sets. We get the Gladiator Beast one for Cybernetic Horizon. How many of these are we still missing? I believe it's at least 5, because we have 1 plus 3 plus 8, that's 12. And are we missing only 5? Because then we get the Alistair Link as well. So that's, by my math, that's 9 plus 4, that's 13. Now, the important ones we're missing here are Cherubini. Huh?
9 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 14, so we're missing 6.
We might be.
Yeah, so Cherubini here was even speculated to be a prize card and is made for Burning Abyss. It literally could have taken this deck to the next level. A deck that already had the capacity to top a Nationals and win it on its own, and it has so much potential synergy for Phantom Knight, so I do really hope that we get it in the Phantom Knight structure deck, and that would really help sell the structure deck. But this is getting pieced out piece by piece by piece to help sell different products that are lacking, like Extreme Force. If we actually look at Extreme Force real quick, which is why I have this tab up. Sorry, Drunk John here. Saryuja was the only, like, really big selling card. Then, oh, look, a Vrains import. Oh, look, a Vrains import. The other big selling ports of the set that weren't there before. That shouldn't have been in here, because the set needed help for us. So we, instead of getting an exclusive pack that is all inclusive of everything that the OCG has, our meta gets warped, our WCQ gets warped, our Worlds format gets warped because we don't have the cards and they do, and we're just playing a freaking different game than them. And to the credit, some of you guys don't want Needle Fiber yet, and that is the only one that I'm okay with it being held off on. Like, we definitely deserve the Burning Abyss Link. This set needed so much help selling. So much help. But then we go to this set. Infinite Impermanence was going to be a lot as a secret rare no matter what. Any Ghost Grill starts at 30. And this is actually pretty decent thanks to Call by the Grave. And then you actually short printed cards and only included 3 of the worst ones overall in the set. Then you go to another core set and include 1 after downing the TCG exclusives or the OCG exclusives to 8% to bump the TCG exclusives to 12%. But you don't want to give it its own set. Yet, here comes number 2. This is just the forewarning. This is going to be used to sell the other sets unless we get it as its own set. And this feels like one of the best sets ever. This is used to go back into the game and actually help past strategies come into the modern day of Yu-Gi-Oh! That was choked out by Link Summoning, just hindered and destroyed by Link Summoning. What are we missing? The Heradic. Let's go to a few of these. Needle Fiber, Cherubini, and the Aromage Link, along with you said the Heradic Link and the Prophecy Link. Like so and many. The Mermail Link. Yeah, we're missing that too. There's our 6. We're missing
one, I think. No, we got
so many cool. Yeah, we got the Steel Swarm one. We're missing so many cool links that go back and bring these strategies forward to where they can actually be played at least as rogue, if not competitive, in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! And they can't all be winners. They can't be all insane Electromites, Needle Fibers, and Aromages. But the thing is, they go back and look at cards we already have in decks that were choked out by Master Rule, and they bring them to the forefront. Bet you this next, the announcement of Link Vrains Pack 2 brings Ghost Tricks to the forefront. I definitely think so. I bet you there's a Ghost Trick Link for you guys that are just crying for it, because that's one of the most begged for ones. But here we look at Cherubini, a card that realistically is stable, is solid, does a lot for a loved archetype that has had so many hits. Seer, Graph, Tour Guide, it's so many cards hit for its archetype. And we look at it and say, wow, you could be so much more. You could have been a contender at this year's WCQ, even more so after winning a Nationals, but not necessarily the top deck, just a contender, thanks to this card. A card that people assume was so much that Konami would make a prize card because of a card like Minerva. We look at the Aromage deck, something that's had an impact on our FNL list overall. We've had our FNL list change for this, and we're probably going to get another FNL list, Forbidden and Limited list, / ban list, as some of you might know it, for this card without it even being released. Where's Dandelion? Gone. We don't even have this before our next one, most likely. And Needle Fiber, there's the one that I'm okay with being held. But at the same time, I would like it to be introduced to the game around now, so that when the next list rolls around, it might potentially be our first banned Link monster for next WCQ format, instead of it ruling our next WCQ format. Yet, we get these cards held back. Again, this goes back to the argument of region-locked cards. It's like, let's imagine we're playing Fortnite, and we go over to Japan, and the heavy shotgun is banned, but we can use it on the PS4 and Xbox can't, because they haven't introduced it yet. They let them play over in Japan in a region with it, but then randomly on PS4, they're like, oh yeah, you can use it, also if you're not in Japan. That's the reversal, right? Japan can use it, we can't, because they made an entire set based around reprints and these cards, and didn't give it to us. Dinnerflax, how do you feel about the Heradic Link here?
I mean, so here's the thing. All the Vrains pack, as you even mentioned yourself, the reason they had to introduce Vrains pack is because they literally, Master Rule 4 was a slap in the face to the Yu-Gi-Oh community. It was punishment for playing their game. You were no longer allowed to play your deck the way you wanted to. You had to jump through hoops, and the hoops you had to jump through weren't good. It was like Decode Talker, which is targeting protection, but you had to pay 3 monsters just so you could summon more than one extra deck monster, and then you gave your opponent a zone. No one wanted to do that. And
this was the answer, right?
Huh?
This was the answer to fix that.
This was the complete answer to people just not giving up on the actual card game.
And they, instead of making an all-inclusive set for the TCG that they gave the OCG, they use it to shill the actual sets. Like, they use it to... I'm gonna go back out here. Look at Extreme Force. What is Extreme Force without Electromite and Isolde? It's a Saryuja. And then the next biggest cards, like, even at their max, like it's the Mech Knights, the Mechy Boys. The Mythical V Cerebus had its time for a little bit. Sure, it was cute. Inspector Border. All the cards are so cheap without it. The Link Vrains pack literally made Extreme Force, which was okay because they gave us 8 of those cards there. They gave us a ton. And if they continued on that course, we would have them all by Saiho. Cybernetic Horizon, we would have had them all. But instead, they started chopping them up less and less. They realized, oh, we got gold here. We got set sellers. And they just took them away from us.
What's beautiful is that they looked at a complete trash set like Cybernetic Horizon and thought, you know, this set's pretty good. Let's throw the worst possible Link monster in that, but only one, because this set's good enough to sell.
Yeah, we got Boral Sword. We're gonna make the Danger to help sell this set because the set's already. Oh no, the Dangers are sinking. Oh well, we got Cyber Dragons. That's a fan favorite.
Except the fact that it's rogue at best, and even if it's a good deck, you can just put not Fortress Mega Fleet Dragon in your side and link away their whole contact away their whole board without doing anything. Like, the set was so bad, it's just playing on nostalgia cards, but the nostalgia cards were either not too helpful or they were just worthless. And they looked at that set and thought,
yeah, the Gladiator Beast one will be enough.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. But
it's actual garbage.
I just want to say, looking at this poorly translated page of Link Vrains Pack 2 confirmed, if you guys as a community don't make your voice be heard, if you guys don't protest this loud enough and say, I want a Link Vrains pack set for the USA, it's going to be used and chopped up into other sets. Konami's a business, and if they don't see a big enough riot about this, we're not going to get this as a pack. We're going to get this chopped up and chopped up and chopped up and not see some of it for years. It's been 8 months. 8 months. Let that sink in since they released it over there. Released. Not just announced. Released. Here we are, almost a year later without some of those cards, and they're likely going to mess up one of our WCQ formats that aren't going to mess up theirs. They're going to mess up another Worlds format, which, sure, is messed up every year, but we're region locking ourselves unless we get this sooner than later, and we're just using it as filler for product that should be filled in by TCG exclusives and really good archetypes, instead of subpar TCG exclusive decks that depend on an OCG exclusive to fill that gap. That's what we need as a community. Let your voice be heard. Just saying. And thank you. The other voice in here that was mostly talking was Master Dinnerflax. We also had Young Breezy, another tuber. We're live streaming now. It's always great to have the open chat, and other tubers are welcome in here. Other people, the conversation's always welcome. Any final notes?
Yeah, so one thing I want to mention is... if you don't think, like, oh, they won't actually do it, just keep in mind, Lavalval Chain, Digoose Dermal, some of the most powerful rank 4s ever in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the OCG, they came out in Generation Force, the very first set, including XE monsters. When did we get them? Oh, about 2 years later, when they would have changed so much. We could have had a format of Infernities in 2011. We could have had a format of, like, some crazy, like, Gymnize or some stupid with Digoose Dermal, but we didn't even get those opportunities. They will absolutely keep cards from us if they think that they just don't want to give it to us. And look at the outer entities. Those were released
how many years?
mid-2014, and we are now getting them.
Master Rule 4 kind of ruined that a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like with the Link Vrains 2, like you said, we should get a something similar to what Japan's getting. We should get a set for that.
You know what we realistically need? We need a World Superstars 2, which could just include all
there
of
you
this.
Go.
World
there
Superstars, we're down to 8 imports a set. We're going further and further. Where's Security Dragon? Where's Subterra Guru? Just make a set that imports it all, and then gives a few needed reprints to help sell the set on top that if you did Link Vrains pack as a set, it probably would have been the best-selling set of all time. If you're looking from a business standpoint, Konami, you can make this the best set of all time and continue to use your TCG imports to continue to sell core sets for us. Just saying.
Instead of importing these just to sell a set when you know it's trash.
Alright, so everybody, thanks for watching. Again, let your voice be heard. Don't be silent. Konami does take note when a community moves. They definitely do. So, like, it is up to you to do this.